Okay, guys. Today we're going to work on 2.5, which is solving multi-step equations. Now, when we solve a multi-step equation, it's the same steps we've talked about. You're going to use the distributive property to get rid of parentheses. You're going to combine like terms and so forth. One of the things you do have to know about doing multi-step equations is that there's three types of answers. You could get an answer where your variable equals a number. So three types. You could have an equation where you have variable equals variable. For instance, x equals x. Or it could be a constant equals a constant, so 4 equals 4. This is known as identity. You guys look this word up. It was part of your definitions, and now you need to know why. So this is identity. This up here, when you have a variable equals a number, this has got one solution. One solution, x equals a specific number. With identity, 4 equals 4, x equals x, constant equals constant. So that's what this is, and that this is variable equals variable. So when you have identity, left side equals right side, this is a true statement. X does equal x, 4 does equal 4. This means you have, for a solution, all real numbers. Okay, you have an infinite set of possible answers. It's known as all real numbers, or infinite. I can spell infinite. This little squiggly thing here is a set marker. Now, the last kind of problem you have is where you have a lie. For instance, you could have a situation where you're finished the problem and it says 0 equals 4. Well, we know 0 does not equal 4. Or if it says that 5 equals 10. Well, we know that doesn't equal. So when we have a lie, this is a lie. When your math lies to you, this is called a null set. So this is null set. It's also shown to you as a set that's empty. So it's also known as an empty set. Okay, so a null set, empty set, this is when your math lies to you. There is no solution. They've given you a situation where the right side and the left side will never be the same. So if you have a lie like this, you have 4 equals 0, you have 5 equals 10, there is no number that you can put into the equation that will make it work. It would be like taking 3 times a number and adding 5, and then taking 3 times that same number and adding 6 and expecting that both sides to equal each other. Well, if I take a number and multiply it by 3 and add 5, take that same number and multiply it by 3 and add 6, they are never going to match. Okay? The equation said it was equal, but in fact it wasn't. It's a lie. It's a null set. Empty set, no solution. Okay? So you're going to have no solution, infinite solutions are all real numbers, and then you're going to have one solution where you have x equals a number, or your variable equals a number. How will you know when you get one of these? Surprise, you won't, not until you go to solve the problem. So if you had a problem that looked like this, say 3 times 6 minus 4x equals negative 2 times 6x minus 9, you're going to do the math. So you're going to distribute 3 times 6 for 18. 3 times negative 4 for negative 12x. Negative 2 times 6x is going to be negative 12x. And negative 2 times negative 9 is positive 18. Okay. 18, 18. Negative 12x, negative 12x. Different order, but everything that's on the left is exactly the same as what's on the right. I could rewrite this to be negative 12x plus 18 equals negative 12x plus 18. This is identity. It's like looking in the mirror. This side looks exactly the same as this side. This is identity, and therefore you have your solution is all real numbers. Okay. What if you had something that looked like this? Say you had negative 3 times 9 plus x equals 33. You're going to distribute 3 times 9 to get negative 27. 3 times x is going to be negative 3x equals 33. You're going to put up your fence, put a box around your variable, add the opposite of negative 27, which is positive 27. You're going to cancel this out, and negative 3x is going to equal 60. You're going to divide by the number in front of the letter, and x is going to equal negative 20. Now, the only number on the planet that you can put into this equation to make it work is negative 20. So that's the answer. X equals negative 20. But what if you get something that looks like this? 2 times 3x plus 5 equals 5 times 2x minus 4x. We're going to distribute, so 2 times 3 for 6x, 2 times 5 for 10, 5 times 2 for 10x, 5 times negative 4 for negative 20, and we bring down our negative 4x. 1, 2 things on this side, that's fine. 1, 2, 3 things on this side means I have to combine like terms, 10x and negative 4x. So I have 6x plus 10 equals 10x minus 4x is 6x minus 20. Right now, you should know what the answer is, but if you don't, that's okay. We're going to find the variable on the right, add the opposite. We're going to find the constant on the left, add the opposite. 6x minus 6x is 0. 10 minus 10 is 0. 6x minus 6x is 0. And negative 20 and negative 10 is negative 30. 0 does not equal negative 0. This is a null set or no solution. It lied to you. And right here, right here, you should have seen that. 6x plus 10, 6x minus 20. How can I take a number, times it by 6, add 10 to it, take that same number times 6, and subtract 20 from it and get the same answer? Answer? You can't. There is no solution. In other words, when you look at this equation, there's not a number on the planet that will work in the equation. All right? So we've had an example of identity, which is infinite solutions. We've had an example of a null set, which has no solution. And now we've had an example of a one solution equation. Now, one of the problems you guys are going to see is going to have fractions in it. And I know how you guys flip out over fractions. So let's take a look at a problem that's got fractions in it. Okay? So you're going to have a problem that looks like, say, oh, I don't know. Let's just try this one. 1/3 x minus 4 times 2/3 x minus 3 equals 2/3 x minus 6. All right, a lot of things happening on this side of the equation, only two things on this side. 3, 3, 3. Oh my gosh, lots of threes. So we're going to multiply everything by 3. Be careful though, because you're going to multiply 4 times everything in here. If you multiply 4 times 3, then you don't have to worry about multiplying everything else by 3. If you think you're going to mess it up, do the distribution first. So 1/3 x minus 4 times 2 is 8 over 3x. Negative times a negative is a positive. 4 times 3 is 12, and this equals 2/3 x minus 6. Okay, again, we're going to multiply through by 3. 3, 3, 3, 3, and 3. These 3's cancel. I have 1x. These 3's cancel. I have negative 8. 12 times 3 is 36. 3 cancels 3, so I have 2x. I have minus 3 times 6 is 18. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Too many things on this side. So I have to subtract. So I have 1x. I'm going to combine these right here to get 36 minus 8 is 26. Okay, just like we've been doing before, find the variable on the right, which is 2x. Its opposite, negative 2x. Over here, negative 2x. Come up and grab that constant. The opposite of that constant would be negative 26. Negative 26. 1 plus negative 2 is negative 1x. This will cancel. This will cancel. It will equal negative 44. Divide each side by negative 1, and x equals 44. Now take a good long look at this problem. This is problem number 3 on your homework. So if you guys flip that over how to do it, when you see your homework, this is it. Okay? Did we have to do a lot of work to get the answer? Yes, we did. Nothing that was too hard, but yes, we handled it. We got rid of the parentheses, we got rid of the fraction, combined like terms. We added the opposite of the variable on the right to both sides, the opposite of the constant on the left to both sides. We divided by the number in front of the letter. Okay, so for those of you who need steps, let's write that down. The first thing we did, okay, distributive property, if you need to. Okay, you don't always need to do the distributive property, but if it's there, do it. Next, you're going to combine like terms, which is what we did here. 3, you are going to add the opposite of the variable on the right to both sides of the equation. Then you're going to add the opposite of the constant on the left to both sides. So to both sides of the equation, you are going to add lines together. You're going to add like you did here, we add the two lines together. And then your last step is to divide by the number in front of the letter. So somebody asked me the other day for they needed steps, they needed directions on how to do this. And so now here you go. Those are your steps. Step 1, the distributive property. Step 2, combine like terms. Now, step 1 and 2 may not have to be done. If there's nothing to distribute, you won't distribute. You may not have any like terms to combine. You're going to add the opposite of the variable on the right to both sides of the equation. You're going to add the opposite of the constant on the left to both sides of the equation. You're going to add the two lines together, and you are going to finally divide by the number in front of the letter. Okay, and then again, your answers are either going to be one solution, no solution, or an infinite set of solutions. Okay, so let's run through that one more time. 3 possibilities. One solution, x equals a number. Second possibility is there is no solution. This is when you have a null set. Third possibility, you have infinite solution, infinite number of solutions. And this is when you have identity. So this is when you're going to have x equals x, 0 equals 0, 4 equals 4. This one up here, this is your lie. This is when it says that 0 equals 5 or 10 equals 20. These are lies. If that happens, you have no solution, null set. Okay, see what you guys can do with this and let me know if you have any questions.